nomination or yet to be confirmed by the general or the national delegates conference of the Democrats, the fortunes of the Democrats, and especially Kamala Harris. Somewhere this morning they were trying to see the pronunciation of Kamala Harris, but well, I've said it that way. Yeah. All right, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Those of you on YouTube, you getting a feed from there, or has the connection dropped? I'll be telling you more about that, but just stay with me. Let's continue. In other parts of Africa as well, shooting of broadcasting regulators board shocks Zambians. So what happened? Well, what did he say? Well, a lot more going to be coming your way from there. So stay tuned and don't you go away at all. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, on this Friday, 26th day of July, the year 2024. All right, just bear with me for the sake of those of you on the YouTube. Yes, just bear with me. We're trying to activate the link for the YouTube. So those of you on YouTube, just bear with us. There's a second line that has been started, so you can go on that and enjoy the broadcast from there. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let's go on. We'll be, as you follow us, you get more from that point as well. So, in other parts of Africa as well, Tinubu lists achievements as reasons Nigerians shall plan protest. Now, President Bola Tinubu has listed his administration's achievement as reasons Nigerians shall plan August 1 to 10, 2024 hardship protest. He said, look, I am working on your case. It's not just easy to fix situation, but will Nigerians hack into that? That is another question on the lips of most people. But what Tinubu asked Nigerians unhappy with him to do in 2027 polls. The owner of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitan Gunwuzi, has shared details of what President Tinubu discussed with the traditional rulers during a meeting at the State House on Thursday. Recall that President had met the traditional rulers led by the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, and the owner of Ife, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Enitan Gunwuzi, to discuss the economic situation. And I bet you, he said, stop it. Now, if you want to do, what you can do is explore the option of voting him out in 2027 presidential election, but don't go on that path. But when people are looking at how can we survive, how can we live and survive until that time, but well, I don't know. Now, in South Africa, DA wants ANC punished for Ramaphosa's speech. The DA wants the electoral court to deduct 1% of the vote received by the ANC in the May 29 national election and fine Ramaphosa and the ANC for that action. Well, we're telling you about that. Election has been completed, government has been formed, and you say they should go and deduct 1% from it. And what does that give you? Okay. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And in other stories, also over a dozen African migrants dead, over 150 missing after a boat capsized in the Mediterranean as well. We're going to be telling you more off the shore of Mauritania. We'll be telling you more as well from there. In other stories making the rounds, this time round in Ghana as well, fire devastates 3-story KNUST student hostel, leaving students stranded. What happened? NCA promises lower data prices by year end. Interesting. Don't you like the way I laughed? Yes, that's laughing arithmetically. Okay, Health Ministry replies. Ablakwa says $34.9 million ambulance spare parts deal signed in 2020. Okay, they were saying it was signed in 2020, not when they were in not in 20 the date that he put across. But I'm going to tell you more about that, so wherever you're, don't worry to go away or move away from there. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, battle for Atamil's legacy gets dirty as Koko Anyideho and brother trades allegation on social media. What does Koko Anyideho got to do with this man? It is not your family man. Just leave the family. The person that you were with is gone. Just leave the family alone. Well, he thinks he's championing the cause of the man, the late President Atta Mills, better than what his family seem to be doing. But what do you think? Somebody say blood is thicker than water, right? Okay. Banker chief jailed for stealing $150,000 belonging to community and fined 24,000 Ghana cedis. A banker chief. Wow. Okay. Wow. What was he using the money for? Oh my goodness. Abronya and Kweku Buahin raining insults on each other on live TV over Baumia. Wow. Interesting. There is infighting going on there. Lots more going to be coming your way from there as well. This all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:26. Before we take a break, bring you some music. Sign anti-witchcraft bill shroud to Akufo-Addo. Now, what is difficult to do about that? People are accused of being witchcraft, and the next moment they are lynched or ostracized and everything that seems to be going on. But what do you think? Well, Napo is on his part. Now he's kneeling before the Kwapim. Let's support him. And by so doing, the Kwapim is saying, let's support him. Well, let's see. He said, you know, politicians, when they want something, they will beg, they will kneel down, they will lie down, prostrate, they will do everything possible. When they win power, they said, yes, to hell with you. Off we go. But what do you think? Maybe he's genuinely being that way. But what do you think about all that? Lots more going to be coming your way from there. This is Starr Radio UK. This is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I remain yours sincerely, your one and only Archie. And it's now time for us to enjoy some music. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Satisfaction you can never find in yourself or in another human's eyes. You tried everything, but what joy did it bring? You thought you were feeling high, but you were living a lie. I doubted when they told me that you could make it right. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I knew it'll turn out right. Looked into myself and the emptiness inside. Tell me, can you feel me? How are you? Enough for me? Enough for me? Would you satisfy me completely? I want to believe you are all that I need, my God, enough for me.
Who'd have ever thought that I'd find someone like you, who loves me unconditionally like the way you do? faithful for me in all kinds of ways. So in those darkest times, like Daniel in the den, or even if it's like Lazarus who was dead and in the grave, I'm gonna look up to the hills like David did to you, and cry out with all faith in me that God, you're enough for me, enough for me. You satisfy me completely. I've come to believe you are all that I need, my God, enough for me.
Enough for me, enough for me. You satisfy me completely. I've come to believe you are all that I need, my God, enough for me. You did not let go of me. You said you will take care of me. In my days I've never seen the righteous abandoned or forsaken, no.
Jesus Christ stepped in for me when he died on Calvary. He supplied my every need and proved without a doubt he's enough for me, enough for me. He satisfies me completely. I've come to believe you're all that I need. God, you're enough for me.
Nyamawu esu bonam edi bonamle lusianume never bobina ewe kumia. Nyamawu esu bonam mawu esu bonam. You're enough for me.
You're enough,
Ooh, my God, you're enough for me.
you're enough.
God is enough. You are enough.
Me completely. I've come to believe you are all that I need, my God, enough for me.
Enough for me, enough for me. You satisfy me completely. I've come to believe you are all that I need, my God, enough for me. You did not let go of me. You said you will take care of me. In my days I've never seen the righteous abandoned or forsaken, no.
Jesus Christ stepped in for me when he died on Calvary. He supplied my every need and proved without a doubt he's enough for me, enough for me. He satisfies me completely. I've come to believe you're all that I need. God, you're enough for me.
Nyamawu esu bonam edi bonamle lusianume never bobina.
Okay, so Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Makafuidawu and JP. Enough for me, enough for me. God, you are enough for me. I hope that God is enough for you as well.
My God,
yeah, it's not everything that we want that we get, but hey, be rest assured, put your trust in the Lord and he will do you good. All right then, Starr Radio UK. I was listening to a video behind the scenes and it's talking about was shared by me, one of our astound listeners, and she was saying, the person was saying the difficulties or narrating the difficulties the Ghanaians are going through at the moment. They're talking about a bag of beans that back in the day was being sold for 210 or 300 is it Ghana cedis, but now being sold for 3,000. 3,000. And looking at the percentage of increment, that is about, virtually is gone about how many percent? 300%, or is it 10%? My point. No, when I say 10%, that was no. Yes, 300% increase. So I was right with my calculation. So it is a sad one that is going on there. But what do you think about that? It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Starr Radio. Now let's move on. Let's look at the details of some of the stories that we put across, starting from home here in the UK. As I did say, if we have, or once we have Mr. Dan Tabiri, we'll be bringing you everything that you need to know pertaining to our finances there. The body responsible for inspecting NHS hospital, GP surgeries and care homes in England is not fit for purpose. The health secretary has said an independent review found inspectors from the Care Quality Commission, the CQC, lacked experience. Some had never been into a hospital before, while some care home inspectors have never met a person with dementia. Now, West Stretton said he was stunned by the scale of problems as he announced a set of emergency measures. The CQC said it accepted the findings in full. The full interim report is due to be published today. Now, the CQC inspects everything from hospital and GP practices through to care homes and dental surgeries, covering 90,000 different services. It gives services one of 4 levels of ratings: outstanding, good, requires improvement, and inadequate. They can be used by the public to help guide them when choosing care homes or GP surgeries, or to decide which hospital to go to for an operation. Now, inspectors lacking the necessary experience, including some being asked to inspect hospitals without ever having been into one before. Now, care home inspectors who had never met a person with dementia, a backlog assessment with 1 in 5 services never having been given a ratings. This is thought to include new care providers, GPs, and private health clinics that have opened in the last 5 years. One NHS hospital having gone more than 10 years since its last inspection. A lack of consistency with assessment. Well, that is a scathing remarks from the health secretary, and I hope that they take it on board and see to address whatever that is going on. The new chancellor is set to use an audit of public spending to make claims of a black hole in the government finances worth tens of billions of pounds. Now, Rachel Reeves said she will give a statement to Parliament on Monday showing honesty about the scale of the challenge faced by the new Labour government. She vowed to fix the mess we inherited, in the quote and unquote, but will not confirm speculation that the gap in the public finances stood at more than £20 billion per year. The Conservative Party accused the new government of peddling nonsense. Labour will suggest that the Conservative left various crucial public services unfunded in areas from public pay to prisons. Now, on Monday, the British public are finally going to see the true scale of the damage the Conservatives have done to the public finance, a public Labour source has said. Now, everybody comes and blames, every generation blames the one before. So every political party blames the one before, and that seems to be the trend, and that's going to be happening exactly more. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And pertaining to the Manchester incident that took place at the Manchester airport, the family of a man who was kicked in the head by police at Manchester airport has appealed for calm in all communities. An MP has said, Paul Wall, Rochdale MP, said the traumatized family wanted to make it clear they had no political agenda whatsoever and did not condone political violence. Footage was shared online at the Greater Manchester Police or a firearms officer who has since been suspended, kicking and stamping on a man as he lays prone on the floor. The force said The officer's action had come after he and other colleagues were violently attacked in a car park in Terminal 2 at about 20:30 BST on Tuesday. So, interestingly, when the police are approaching you that you've done something, they want to stop you, what do? I know there are some police officers who have got racist tendencies when they are attending to a cause, a case, or whatever it is. However, when it happens that you are being stopped, and either they say come out or show us your hand, and you go no, and then you start to punch and do those things. I mean, you see what I'm talking about? I'd rather, yes, I'm here. You said I should stop. I've stopped. Now do whatever you want to do. Let's see. But that you will not abuse me. And if it happens that somebody is doing anything of the sort, then people from outside will find it. But now saying that this person, this individual, managed to hit how many people? The 3 police officers, armed police officers, knocked them down and all stuff like that. And they were even scared that maybe some way, somehow, as the family is saying that they have not got any political objective there. We hope that is so, and that calm will return to those area, and also investigations will take place, and we'll find out that the police officer do that in defense or in fear of his own life. Is that what happened there? Black Lives Matters, yes, but when there was this story in the US, I think was it last week that it happened, and that one the video has gone viral as well. And you are looking at it where a woman who called the police to say that, look, I think there's somebody who has broken into my house, and the police come in, and this person is boiling hot water and standing by the stove, the cooker or this, and the policeman says, but the person said, I called you and said there was somebody in my house, so I'm the person who have called you, so why do you now come attacking me? And the policeman says, I'll shoot you in the head if it's dead. And then the person said, what? Said, you cannot do that, or I come against you in the name of Jesus, or something of the sort. And you fired and shot the person in the head. So now you look at it, and then you compare notes to it, and you see that this person wasn't rowdy, this person didn't do anything. If the person has got mental health or anything, and even when they told the person was so calm, wasn't going to do anything of the sort. And how many officers were there at the time? You get it? So for you to just go gun rampage and just go and shoot on the person, that's different. But when things like this happen, and when you go on kicking and knocking other police officers down and something, I watch lots of this police things, SWAT and all various or criminal shows, and where police are involved, or security agencies are involved, NCIS and all those bits. And you see, when there is that aggression, then they for every action there's equal and opposite reaction. So your action pertaining to what they are telling you to do determines what action they take. They will also reciprocate. But I'm saying that there are others who will not even look at that, and will just go on the part of just kicking you, or because they have got racist tendency or whatever phobia in them, and they go on to do that. That's a different ball game. But with this, I think that we have to look again and let investigation take place, so that we don't take things on face value and say because of that, that's how our police officers. I live with a couple of police officers, somebody and the wife. Let me say good morning to David and Megan. They are, I would say, the most wonderful police officers that I don't know, maybe they are trying to prove to me that they are not. But if I tell you that, so lovely. That's how we live in our community, though. Let me put it that way. And they're Caucasians, to a point where they'll tell their daughter that if she needed something, their little daughter, that when they are all gone to work and their daughter needs something, she can come to knock at our door. And that is how it's supposed to be. Okay? But when things like this happen, well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio. 11:44, running me high time already. Oh my goodness. Let's move on to other parts of the world. Yeah. Now, a series of fires have hit French high-speed rails lines hours before the Paris Olympics opening ceremony. Now, rail company CNCF says it is a massive attack aimed at paralyzing the network. Now, France's transport minister condemns the coordinated malicious act. Now, some 800,000 customers will be affected with the disruption expected all weekend, the rail firms have said. Now, Eurostar, as I did announce earlier on, is telling all customers to postpone trips if they can, as it faces ongoing disruption. Have you been affected? If you have, get in touch with them, and they will help you out on that front. This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. Okay. In other stories making the rounds this morning, Barack Obama has endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democratic presidential nominee, ending days of speculation over whether he will support her. Former President Obama and ex-First Lady Michelle Obama said in a joint statement that they believe Ms. Harris has the vision, the character, and the strength that this critical moment demands. Ms. Obama was reportedly among more than 100 prominent Democrats Ms. Harris spoke to after President Joe Biden announced last Sunday he was dropping out of the race. In a statement at the time, Ms. Obama praised Mr. Biden's exit but stopped short of endorsing Ms. Harris. The U.S. Vice President had already secured the support of a majority of Democratic delegates, setting her on course to become the official nominee at the party's convention in August. Now, the Obama said on Friday's statement that they could not be more thrilled to endorse Ms. Harris. They vowed to do everything we can to elect her. We agree with President Biden, said the couple statement. Choosing Kamala was one of the best decisions he's made. She has the resume to prove it. She has a resume to prove it. They cited her records as California's Attorney General, a U.S. Senator, and then Vice President. But Kamala has more than a resume. The statement continued. She has the vision, the character, and the strength that this critical moment demands. There is no doubt in our mind that Kamala Harris has exactly what it takes to win this election and deliver for the American people. At a time when the stakes have never been higher, she gives us all reasons to hope. The statement was accompanied by a video of Ms. Harris taking a phone call from the Obamas in which they pledged their support. Oh my goodness, says the Vice President in the clip. Michelle Barack, this means so much to me, she said there. So let's see what is going to happen on that front. This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. World News. In another story making the rounds in the US by pertaining to what is happening in South America, one of the world's most powerful drug lords, Ismael El Mayo Zambada, leader of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, has been arrested by the U.S. federal agents in El Paso in Texas. Zambada, 76, founded the criminal organization with Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who is currently jailed in the U.S. Arrested with Zambada on Thursday was Guzman's son, Joaquin Guzman Lopez, with the U.S. Justice, said the U.S. Justice Department. In February, Zambada was charged by U.S. prosecutors with a conspiracy to make and distribute fentanyl, a drug more powerful than heroin, that he has been blamed for the U.S. opioid crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, let me say good morning to my brother Anthony Adedeji. Hey, it's been a while. I hope you are doing very, very well. Are you in Niger or you are in the US? Yeah, I hope you are doing well, whatever the case is. And let me say good morning to Mr. John Buama as well, and our condolences to you for on the loss of your mother. John Buama has been a very good friend since we were young back in Ghana, and he also is in the US. He's in Texas as well. I call him Kofori. Kofori, good morning to you and your mouth shedding. All right then. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Shamsuddin, good morning to you as well. Okay, let's move on. One other story. We move on straight. As they say yesterday, pertaining to the Philippines and the oil spill and everything that had gone on there. I'm asking the question. Okay. I'm asking the question whether I said he should get in touch with us. Yes, Jojo Emmanuel, man of God, can you get in touch with us so that we know that you are doing very, very well there as well. Now in Bangladesh, as Bangladesh Prime Minister weeps train station damage. Bangladesh leader had been accused of crying crocodile tears after she was photographed weeping at a train station that was destroyed during anti-government protests. At least 150 people have been killed as a result of nationwide clashes between police and university students, with security forces accused of excessive force. The protesters have been calling for quotas on government jobs to be scrapped. Online, many accused Miss Hasina of not expressing the same level of sympathy towards those who had died or their families. Well, he's crying, he says, shedding tears because of the train station that has been destroyed. But the people are saying that you should have shed tears for the people whose life has been taken through or via this demonstration because of their security agencies unleashing their venom on them. This and a lot more coming your way. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Before we get to Nigeria, a sad story has occurred. Now, police are investigating the abduction and murder of Zambia's newly appointed broadcasting regulator chief. Now, Guntila Moleya's body was discovered on the outskirts of the capital, Lusaka, on Wednesday with gunshot wounds. His death has shocked people, especially the motive is unknown, and as a gun violence is not common in the southern African nation. Now, police believe the Director General of the Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA, was kidnapped after leaving work on Tuesday. Now, IBA is responsible for licensing standards and enforcing compliance. When Mr. Moleya failed to return home on Tuesday night, his family alerted the police and began to search for him. His body was discovered by a member of the public as he was on his way to work, the police said. 2 bullet cartridges were also found at the scene. I want to assure the nation on this sad development that the people involved in this gruesome murder of the IBA Director General will be brought to book. Thabu Kawana, the top civil servant in Zambia's information ministry, told journalists. Mr. Moleya took over the IBA in May from a veteran journalist who had headed the authority for 10 years. He was previously the general manager of Zambia of South Africa pay TV firm MultiChoice. In a statement, IBA said it was deeply saddened by the death and would continue to uphold the value and visions that Mr. Moleya championed during his brief tenure. So what exactly had happened to him and what has caused him to lose his life in this gruesome way? May his soul rest in peace, and to his family our condolences, and to the whole of Zambia our condolences there as well. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Tinubu seems to be calling on Nigerian citizens to back down, looking at his records and saying, look, I'm doing something for you all. It's just a matter of time when we all enjoy whatever difficulty or whatever tightening of belt that we've all been tightening. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has listed his administration's achievements as reasons Nigerians should shelve the planned August 1 to 10, 2024 hardship protest. He disclosed this when he received a delegation of Islamic leaders led by Sheikh Bala Lao at the State House on Thursday. The president listed the commencement of the student loan scheme, the 70,000 naira new minimum wage, and the establishment of the Consumer Credit Initiative as enough accomplishment that addresses the welfare of Nigerians. He therefore urged the protesters, planners, not to turn Nigeria into Sudan. He said, we are reworking the social welfare scheme to reach the world level, which is the closest to our people. We are going to ensure that we re-establish connection with the world again so that we can give allowances to the poor and the vulnerable. Student loans will pay for school fees. There will be monetary support for education of our children. The consumer credit will support citizens to buy cars and houses, and they can repay gradually. We have increased the minimum wage by more than 100%. But what did the labor group, the various labor unions, say pertaining to that? It can be recalled that the Nigerian National Assembly recently passed the new Minimum Wage Act, and the federal government commenced disbursement of funds to beneficiaries of the students' loan scheme. The Tinubu administration had also approved to take off the 100 billion naira consumer credit for Nigerians in April. So what are they going to be doing about that? Well, let me tell you more. Well, so the president had an encounter with the rulers, the traditional rulers, led by Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, and the Oni of Ife, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Anitan Ogunwusi, to discuss the economic situation in the country. Speaking to the newsmen after the meeting, Oni said Tinubu urged Nigerians not to contend with his administration to explore the option of voting him out in the 2027 presidential election. According to the monarch, Tinubu called for dialogue while speaking on the planned nationwide protest for August 1 to 10. Now, he said the president shared his commitment to resolve the economic hardship in the country. Oh, and he said the president has said, any leader that you don't like, wait until 2027 and vote him out. He's open to dialogue. We know that Nigeria faces more challenges, but we are going to destroy our nation by ourselves. Is that what we are all after? It is very difficult to build, but it is easiest to destroy. We are all stakeholders in this country and are stronger as a nation than individually. Well, so with this clarion call and this meeting with traditional leaders, would they be able to actually quell the quest and the whatever they are doing when it comes to that? Let's see, and let's follow it very, very closely. Okay, I will read that story pertaining to the former president Obasanjo, talking about witches and wizards, but I won't put that across. But the DSS has recovered 2,000 bags of federal government rice palliative diverted in Katsina. The Katsina State Command of the Department of State Services has uncovered a shocking case of rice diversion involving officials of the state government. The 20 trucks of rice donated by the federal government to cushion the effects of economic hardship in the country have been found to have been diverted. According to sources, the DSS operatives discovered that 2,000 bags of rice out of the 20 trucks were stored in a warehouse at the Central Market in Katsina. The development has left many residents shocked and disappointed. Well, it's quite an interesting one, what we do to ourselves. But this is all Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 2 minutes to 12 the time, the morning show, the program. Now, moving on to some other stories making the round still in Africa. South African Democratic Alliance took the African National Congress, the party it co-governs the country with, to court on Thursday over a pre-election speech in May given by President Cyril Ramaphosa. It is an early sign of friction between the new coalition partners. The court papers were submitted to the Electoral Court by the DA, that is the the Democratic Alliance, in May before it entered into a coalition with the ANC, but it decided to still go ahead with the case. The DA asked the court to deduct 1% of the vote received by the ANC in May 29th national election and fine Ramaphosa, the ANC's leader, $10,900 and his party $5,450 over what it argues was a presidential address that was used for election campaign and amounted to an abuse of office. The ANC responded on Thursday by calling the legal action frivolous and unwarranted and said the president was following the constitution when he made the speech. Ramaphosa gave the speech 3 days before the election in his capacity as head of state, but used parts of his aid to highlight what he said were ANC's successes during its 30-year rule as South Africa's governing party. The DA said that the election rules don't allow him to engage in party politics and campaign for the ANC when he speaks as the president. So what were they expecting him to do? To go after that and then say, okay, this is the national broadcast, it's ended. Now, this is my own broadcast to my own party, faithfuls. And you know what? Yes, this is what we're going to be doing. We have to make sure that as we go vote for the ANC because we've done very, very well. Maybe that's what should have happened. Now, what about during campaign times when ruling governments or presidents travel in the state vehicles, whether planes or whatever, moving up and down, because they hold that office as well? Or do we want to say that when you become a president, before you enter into election, you have to stay away from the presidency and be a candidate, and then we all start from the scratch, and maybe by so doing there is no nobody using a state apparatus to actually enhance their quest or serve as a stimulus to help them win election. Maybe that's what would be good for them. What do you think about all that? This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Now, in Tunisia, pro-Said demonstrations held alongside counter-protests. Hundreds of supporters of Tunisia's President Said demonstrated in Tunisia's capital, Tunis, yesterday, coinciding with the country's republic day. But they were all pro-Said demonstrations that took place there in support of them. Let's see what is happening there as well. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, more than a dozen migrants died, at least 150 others are missing after their boat capsized off Mauritania on their way to Europe. The International Organization for Migration said, triggering a frantic search and rescue operation. 300 migrants on the boat capsized on Monday near the Mauritanian capital, Nouakchott, and 120 have been rescued by the Mauritanian Coast Guard. The IOM said in a statement on Wednesday. Tragically, 15 people were confirmed dead upon arrival. It said, adding that search efforts were still underway. A surge of migrants have left West Africa in recent years through Senegal, from where they have to navigate not past Mauritania to reach Spain's Canary Islands. Well, this all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. This is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a break. We come back and I'll bring you what is happening in Ghana as well. Well, as I did say, if you're fortunate to have Mr. Dan Tabiri, that we're going to be bringing you the Money Hour. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial at all. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A commercial break. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 6 minutes past the top of the hour. Keeping fingers crossed if we will get our money man on. If not, once we finish with the update, the details of the updates will bring you a update of what we've discussed in the past. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. So stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Okay, so moving on this afternoon. Yeah. It's afternoon, you know. What are you going to be doing over the weekend? Nice weather here. If you're having a barbecue, invite me and I'll be there. Woo! With my prawn fork. What about that? All right then. Okay, so now let's move on to the final segment of the program. Now looking at some of the stories making the rounds in Ghana. The National Communication Authority has assured the public that data prices will decrease by the last quarter of the year, addressing concerns over high data costs and poor services. This announcement follows widespread criticism and calls for the dissolution of the NCA board, partly due to the MTN's classification as a significant market power, which some argue has led to unreliable data supply and high costs. In a statement, the NCA clarified that the SMP classification aims to promote their competition, not burden MTN's operations. The authority explained that measures such as unbalanced interconnection rates, tariff parity, and technology neutrality will foster competition, innovation, and consumer protection. Now, speaking on the radio station, Director General of the NCA, Dr. Joe Anoche, said data price will likely increase or decrease. My apologies. It said will likely decrease. If I say increase, I bet people will be will likely decrease. Likely. What about if it doesn't? With the introduction of the NGIC wholesale carrier neutral open access network, the network expected to be launched by the last quarter of the year will enable operators like the AT, Telecel, and MTN to purchase bulk data without upgrading towers or equipment, leading to increased efficiency and reduce costs. Dr. Anoche expressed optimism, saying data prices are expected to go down, especially again with the NGIC wholesale career neutral open access. Now, AT, Telecel, and even MTN will just buy bulk. They don't have to upgrade towers or buy new equipment to provide 4G. Another entity is doing that. They are supposed to launch by the last quarter of the year, and going from there, we will begin adding more towers. I think we should be hopeful. Now, hopeful, yes, people can think that they need to be hopeful, but how do they survive until then? That is a question on the lips of most people. In other stories as well, on Thursday night, a devastating fire razed a 3-story accommodation facility known as Fada Hostel at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The cause of the fire has yet to be determined, but it has severely damaged the building, which served as a hostel for students. At least 9 rooms have been reduced to rubble, leaving the victims devastated and students in adjacent buildings frightened. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. However, at least 9 students have lost all their belongings to the flames, leaving them without a place to stay. The victims recounted that the fire started in a single room before it quickly spread throughout the building, consuming their valuables within minutes. Now, eyewitnesses noted that the KNUST Fire Department emergency number was initially unreachable, causing a delay of 30 minutes, boy oh boy, before they could respond to the incident. The remaining portion of the building is deemed uninhabitable due to significant structural damage. In response, the KNUST Student Representative Council has arranged temporary accommodation for the affected students at the SRC hostel. The council is also urging all students to adhere to safety protocols to prevent such incidents in the future. What were they charging? What was going on? How were the circuit breakers working there? Boy, this is Starr Radio UK. Now, yesterday we did talk about the banter between Koko Anyideho and the family of the late Atta Mills. Now, the Ferrari that marked the 12th anniversary commemoration of the demise of former Ghanaian President Professor Jonathan Mills is not dying down soon, as his brother and head of the family, Dr. Kadman Atta Mills, and Samuel Koko Anyideho, the former Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, have taken the fight to social media. The Red Lane event on Wednesday, July 24, 2024, was rocked with a melee with the family and the NDC's cousin, accusing Koko Anyideho of overrunning the time allocated to him, seeking to instigate a row between his faction and the family. Now, subsequently, Samuel Atta Mills, brother of the late president, threatened to take action against Koko Anyideho, accusing him of leveraging the power of the state to orchestrate condemnable actions against the Mills family and the NDC. In response to the claims, Koko Anyideho made a series of social media publications against the family of the late Ghanaian President Professor Jonathan Mills, particularly his brothers Dr. Kadman Mills and Samuel Atta Mills. Koko Anyideho in the tweets dared the Mills brothers to expose him, as they have threatened and made some claims against them relative to the demise of their brother. Some of Koko Anyideho's tweets read, "For the first time, I was the one who got the useless Kadman Atta Mills to register the Atta Mills Foundation. Can Kadman deny that I got him to register the Atta Mills Foundation? What happened to the $100,000 from a certain oil company that came through me to Kadman? For the longest, I have respected my covenant with the late President Atta Mills. That's why I've kept quiet about the extreme foolishness of Kadman and Samuel Atta Mills. But if they dare me, they shall regret their gross idiocy." Now, Koko tweets elicited responses from Dr. Kadman Atta Mills, who is the brother of the late president and the head of the family. Dr. Kadman Mills, in an attempt to expose Koko Anyideho, also alleged how the president's staffer tried to turn the son of the late president against the Mills family. Koko tried to manipulate Professor Mills' son, then 23, to partner with him to establish an Atta Mills Foundation. When I was approached, I informed them that Miss Ernestina Nadu Mills and I had already registered the John Evans Atta Mills Memorial Foundation and invited him, Kwaku, to work with us. At first, Kwaku was willing. Through Kwaku, I even had one of the Kwaku's young assistants design the logo for the foundation. For reasons best known to Kwaku, he then simply vanished, and the last I heard was that he had formed his own Atta Mills Institute. However, I was not surprised because his outsized ego will not permit him to work for Mrs. Mills and me, and Kwaku had never been a team player. Witnessed by the numerous problems he created for President Mills, refusal to take orders from the venerable Mr. Totobi Kwache in charge of communications, and bitter rivalry with Muhammad Ayariga, a more erudite and published communications aide to President Mills, part of his post read. Well, the banter continues. I hope that they see sense and stop all these, let me put it this way, nonsense, right? Good. Starr Radio, okay? Your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The chief of Banka, a farming community in the Ashanti-Achim district of the Ashanti region, has been jailed by the High Court in Accra for stealing $150,000 belonging to his community. The chief, Osaberima Triapoma III, was found guilty of stealing by the High Court, presided over by Justice Comfort K. Tasiame, after a full trial on July 23. Now, upon his conviction, he was sentenced to serve 3 months to prison, in addition to 2,000 penalty units, which is equivalent to 24,000 Ghana cedis. Now, Justice Comfort Tasiame, while sentencing the convict, said that should he default on the payment of the fine, he should serve 5 years in prison. The chief, now a convict, was arrested and charged after he was said to have pocketed the $150,000 a gold mining company, Gulf Coast Resources Company Limited, had given to the community for corporate social responsibility obligations. On July 21, 2023, the accused Osaberima Chiampoma III was arraigned on the charge of stealing contrary to Section 124 of the Criminal Offences Act, 1960, Act 29. Upon his arraignment, the accused pleaded not guilty to the charge leveled against him. Now, the prosecution, led by Watkins Adama, a state attorney, called 3 witnesses who testified in the support of its case. On December 19, 2023, when the prosecution closed its case, the accused prayed the court for leave to make a submission of no case to answer, and the same was granted by the court. On February 20, 2024, the court, in its ruling on the submission of no case to answer, found that the prosecution, through its witness, was able to prove that there was prima facie evidence for the accused to mount a defense. The trial by way of evidence subsequently concluded on May 7, 2024, after the accused testified and Professor Kwame Jan Esquire appeared as his only witness. It was the case of prosecution led by State Attorney Watkins Adama. That complainant, Nanaya Bua, is a member of the community and acted on behalf of the people of Banka. The accused Osaberima Triampoma III is the chief of Banka, a farming community in the Ashanti-Achim district of the Ashanti region. The prosecution stated that in the year 2000, a gold mining company by the name Gulf Coast Resources Company Limited acquired a mining lease for a period of 10 years from the Minerals Commission to operate gold mining on Banka lands. It said the mining lease expired in 2010, and on the expiry of the lease, the mining company wrote to the Minister of Lands and Forestry and Natural Resources for the renewal of their mining lease on Banka. The prosecution added that Banka community, spearheaded by the accused, vehemently challenged the renewal of the lease. The prosecution told the court that in a letter on June 2010, expressed to the then Minister of Lands, Forestry and Natural Resources, uttered by the accused on behalf of the elders and people of Banka, the petition against the renewal of the lease. The grounds on the petition were that the Gulf Coast Resources Company had failed to fulfill its corporate and social obligation to the banker community for the past 10 years that the company operated at banker. It said that following the petition, the management of the company entered the negotiation with the accused and the people of Banca. The prosecution stated that the negotiation, the company promised to pay Banca community $150,000 for the development of the Banca community if the accused and the people of Banca will withdraw their petition against the renewal of the lease. It was the case that the prosecution that accused the people of Banca obliged and accordingly withdrew their petition in the letter in January 2011 addressed to the Minister of Lands, Forestry and Natural Resources. They said that the letter was also uttered by the accused on behalf of the people of Banca. Consequently, the mining lease of the company was renewed for 10 years beginning 2011. Upon renewal their lease, the Gulf Coast Resources Limited also transferred their right to another mining company called Banca Gold Limited. The prosecution told the court. It stated that out of the proceeds from this transaction, Gulf Coast Resources Company Limited paid an amount of $150,000 through the accused for the people of Banca as promised earlier. The managing director of the Gulf Coast Resources Company Limited, Mr. Ebenezer Ban Asari Kwanzaa, told the police that the payment of the said amount of the accused as the chief of Banca was for the Banca community. And it's quite interesting, isn't it? Well. So what happened to that? The accused acknowledged receipt thereof per receipt dated in June 2011, which is personally signed by him. The content of the receipt indicates that the amount was paid to the accused on behalf of the elders of people of Banca. The accused, however, failed to inform the people of Banca that he had received the money, the prosecution stated. He also failed to release the money to the people of Banca for the intended developmental needs. The people of Banca, however, got wind that the money has been paid to the accused. They waited for a long time, but the accused did not tell them anything. Consequently, the elders of Banca approached him on several occasions, but the accused told them that the money had not been paid to him. Not satisfied, the elders reported the matter to the police, and the accused was arrested. The prosecution stated that when interrogated, the accused acknowledged receipt of the money, but he said the money was paid to him personally for his personal use and not for the Banca community, and that he has used the money to defray his legal expenses which he incurred while pursuing the matter with Gulf Coast Resources Company Limited. It's interesting, right? Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK. I've got another 8 minutes to bring the program to a close there, unless of course we got our money man joining in. The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice SHRAD has advised President Akufo-Addo to do all he can and resolve any legal matters with the anti-witchcraft bill and sign it into law. On July 28, 2023, Ghana's parliament passed the Criminal Offence Amendment Bill 2022, which amends the Criminal Offences Act 1960 to ban the practices of witch doctors and witch finders, and to prohibit the declaration, accusing, or labeling of individuals as witches. The private members' bill was sponsored by Francis Xavier Sasu, NDC MP for Medina, along with NDC's MPs Hajia Ladi Ayi Ayamba, Dr. Godfrey Seidu Jasso, Madam Helen Ajua Ntoso, and Madam Betty Nana Efua Crosby Mensah. But President Akufo-Addo is yet to assent to the bill to law. Now, as you are aware, the Commission is a constitutional body established by the Commission on Human Rights Administrative Justice Act 1993, Act 456, pursuant to Article 216 of the Constitution 1992, to promote and protect fundamental human rights of all persons in Ghana, ensure administrative justice, and fight corruption. The Commissioner, Dr. Joseph Whittle, indicated in a letter to president. The commission is further mandated, especially under Article 218 and subsection 7, 1G of the 1992 Constitution, to educate public as to human rights and freedoms by such means as commissioner may decide, including publication, lectures, and symposia. In the light of the foregoing, the commission respectfully urges His Excellency the President of the Republic to take urgent steps, including any legislative steps that will resolve any constitutional concerns raised by His Excellency the President in order to assent to the Criminal Offence Amendment Bill 2023 Anti-Witchcraft Bill to further enhance the protection of this vulnerable group and the consolidation of Ghana's human rights record, the commissioner advised. And it's all to do, you know what? Most of the time when they say people have got witchcraft and all those bits, is because they are suffering from dementia. You ask them this, they don't get it, and because we are not educated when it comes to dementia and how to live with them and how to cope with them, we just go bonkers there. But what do you think? Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let me bring you one final story before we bring the first part, we bring the program to a close. Let me put it that way, because we are yet. I'll bring you some music if we get our money man. I've got another 5 minutes to have him. If we got him, then we'll bring that your way. If not, okay. Okay. Yes, we're going to be having our money man on. We're going to be looking at tax credit and the migration to universal tax credit. So wherever you are, just stay tuned, and we will be bringing that your way in a jiffy as the money man gets himself ready to come your way. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. This is Starr Radio UK. Okay, so let's enjoy some music, and no, that will be after this updates. Let me bring you, I'm trying to refresh some of the story that's making the rounds here, especially pertaining to what is happening in France at the moment. As I said, if you are planning to travel to France today, please cancel. If you are using the Eurostar, please, if possible, cancel your trip. If possible, cancel your trip, because there have been lots of attacks when it comes to the rail network in France. Rural sabotage plays havoc with opening of Paris Olympic Games. Let me bring that your way before we take a musical break. Now, streets in the cities of Paris have been blocked off, metro stations closed, and thousands of police soldiers and other guards deployed to maintain security on the big showpiece day to kick off the Olympics. But the saboteurs struck away from the capital at 5 apparently unguarded places. France state-owned rail company SNCF says the saboteurs either vandalized or tried to vandalize 5 signal boxes and electricity installations between 01 hours and 5:30 hours on Friday. One site was at Catalan, east of Le Mans, and 150 kilometers of the southwest of Paris. The local community social media page posted a picture of burnt out cables in a Charlie galley with its protective SNCF paving stones discarded there. Why did they do so? Just for what? Well, so it's interesting what we're saying there. But wherever you are, don't touch the dial. This is Starr Radio, okay? This is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Caretaker Prime Minister Gabriel Attal said the repercussions for the rail network were massive and serious, and France intelligence services and forces of order has been deployed to find and punish those behind these criminal acts. But who would want to ruin the plans of hundreds of thousands of French travelers and disrupt the start of the Olympic Games? Only the weak Only this week, a Russian man was arrested on suspicion of involvement in a destabilization plot targeting the games. Was it sent from the authorities there? Oh boy, I'm not sure about that. Okay, let's enjoy this song from it's a cover. Okay, just bear with me. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Let's take a commercial and then bear with me whilst wait for the money man to join in. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana, boy. Oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medase.
Okay, that is some Ghanaian tune there for you this afternoon, and it says I don't want no troubles. Well, but you know what? You don't want no troubles. Then you got to listen to us when the money man comes in with the money hour. So enjoy this tune. It's a cover version of an acoustic tune of Yaya and Enoch Oreku. Yes, enjoy it and I'll be with you. I've not sampled it, so you are the first with me to sample it. Yeah.
Okitira korini meko abwa poncheni ti umfi fresai ha media mi pami wasamu obi akofa bekami chichi gasem you man kanchre wo say ye matachini kachira no mase nisu ya wosu ye dia sembeba and I will say in foul sawa who what can be coming tie so penny will fear no say she fanua a bedroom rebino nasem croya be barliko say auntie I am wa koshibra ho e janu a bedroom rebino wa be ya de so amaye oh yeah ubeshe mumiti way mesi me june me hui obi ko bana ko shibra ubere na mafa ho je aso tro media me pami wasam nko kame why unim to ayentwe media me way media me june me ho okotira ko bini mako abonchre ni ti umfi fresai ha media me pami wasam obi akoka bekame oh yeah media me pami wasam obi akofa bekame one more time media me pami wasam
brighten your day with Starr Radio.
Yeah, that's a good tune there. It says, I don't want no trouble. And I know that you don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble as well. And therefore, that's why it's very imperative that you listen to us on this program this afternoon when we have our money man, Mr. Tabiri, joining in the next few moments, going to bring you the money hour. And today he's going to be looking at tax credit and migration to universal tax credit. Now, how have you been managing it? Because you got it wrong. Oh boy, that is where that song applies. I don't want no trouble, but you find yourself languishing in trouble. But knowledge is power. You have that information, you are able to navigate and do stuff. So let's see what the money man is going to bring your way this afternoon. But now let's take a commercial, and hopefully by the time we come back, we'll have our money man with us. Stay tuned and don't you go away. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 002 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medase.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK and this is the Friday edition of the morning show. And at this juncture, you know that we will definitely have our money man, Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. When you have any money issues pertaining to your account, name it. Yes, he is there for you. And let me take the opportunity to say good afternoon to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Good afternoon to you, Archie. Pleasure to come your way again this afternoon.
Yes, it's a pleasure. How are you doing, sir?
I am good.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. All right, then. I know we're pressed with time already, so we'll crack on. Today, we want us to look at the tax credit and migration to universal tax credit. Quite a big one there, because I know that when people get it wrong, it goes very, very wrong. So, first of all, tax credit, which part of tax credit are you talking about, sir?
Yeah, so it's important to emphasize, as you said, that when things go wrong, it can go really wrong with tax credits. So we're looking at tax credits as a whole, and the migration project towards universal tax credit. So we have different types of tax credits. We have family tax credits. We have working tax credits. We have other income support as well. They all form parts of the basket or the package to support people in their welfare needs. But there's a migration towards universal credit to put all of these credits or welfare assistance or support packages together, all coming under what will now be known as a universal credit. That's child tax credits, we won't have working tax credits, and all the other types of supports that are available. everything will fall under universal credit.
Okay, that's quite an interesting one. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, knowledge is power, so you have to open your ears and listen to it very, very well. Now, so they are merging all these credits, these tax credits together.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are some timelines as well which we need to look at. First of all, there's an immediate or impending deadline of 31st July for those who are receiving child tax credits to renew their tax credits.
Okay.
For most people, I think we're looking at, for most credits will get renewed automatically if they have set themselves up for this auto renewal. Then they don't have to do anything. Other people would have received letters or notifications to renew their tax credits.
Okay.
And it is very important that they do so, because if you do not receive them, then their payments that they receive will stop. And in most cases, we see HMRC requesting for tax credits which they have already received to be paid back. So it's very, very important that if you have not already done so, that you do by the 31st of July, which I believe is next Wednesday, I think, if I'm not wrong.
You're right.
Yeah, so it's important that people check those envelopes that come from HMRC, and if you need to phone HMRC to make the renewal, you can do that. The quickest way to renew is via the gov.uk website, or there's a free and secure HMRC app which allows people to be able to track their claims. You can also renew your claims through that. Yeah. So that's the first point to make. And then secondly, with the measure, there are some timelines. So we expect that tax credits will be ending on the 5th of April 2025, and these will be replaced by universal credits. We expect that customers will receive a letter from the Department of Works and Pensions explaining next. So by the 5th of April 2025, there will be no more tax credits, and we expect that everybody in the UK would have been migrated onto universal credit.
Universal, okay. Listen, let's start ready. Okay, quite important information being shared by our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. And if you are, you are one who, receive any of these tax credits, is for your information. You need to act if you have not acted yet. How complex is the filling of the forms, or this what do you call it? Filling your filling of your forms or updating your tax credit. How complex is it?
Right. So that is not complicated at all. So renewing your form allows you to notify HMRC that simply it would just be a matter of ticking boxes to say yes or no, just a couple, not many. To answer questions as to whether there have been changes in your circumstances or changes in your family situation. For example, relationship changes such as moving in with a new partner, getting married, or getting children leaving home, a change in working hours, etc. So you simply say yes or no to these answers, and that's all. And also, you are shown an estimate of what your income or working hours is, and you just have to say that yes, it's correct. The information that HMRC holds about your circumstance is accurate or not. If it's not accurate, then you would have the opportunity to update your information with them.
Okay. Yeah, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Now, every discussion that we are having pertains to the United Kingdom, please, and especially to England. Okay, there are other nations in the United Kingdom that might not use the same thing. But yes, if you are involved in that, please, you are listening to us. It's pertaining to the UK. If you're outside, don't apply that. It wouldn't work for you. Okay. So, Mr. Tabiri, please go on.
Yeah, so as we've already said, universal credit is here. In actual fact, some people have already made the move. Some people have already voted. So, as we said, universal credit will be a single monthly payment to help with your living costs and provide support if you are working and on a low income or are looking for work. So some of the benefits that will be ending and be replaced by universal credits will be child tax credits, working tax credits, housing benefits, income support, income-based job seekers allowances, and income-related employment and support allowance. So letters to be dispatched to anyone who is claiming any of these credits or benefits. You have to look out for a letter called a universal credit migration notice from the Department of Work and Pensions, which will be explaining what you need to do and when. So whenever you receive such letters, those brown envelopes, please take a look at it, read it, make sure you understand it and what is asking you to do. It is important that when you get this, you check the dates that you need to clear by, as you won't move automatically. And your letter will give you all the information that you need.
Okay. Yeah, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, Friday, and you know the time and what we are up to. Money Hour with our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. If you have any issues pertaining to your accounting or anything of the sort, you just have to get in touch with him and he will see to it for you. And today we are looking at tax credit and migration to universal tax credit. Now, does that actually maybe reduce, or because merging everything, do people get the same amount of money if they, collectively, if they are looking at whatever things that they are getting, or there's going to be a reduction or something of the sort?
Well, the guidance that has come out tells us it's not necessarily the case. In some cases, some people will get more money. In some cases, some people will get less.
Yes.
What we understand is that for the first year, there will be a soft landing period. So if you happen to get less money in the first year when you first migrate, they would bridge the gap. So, for example, if you are receiving £600 previously, and upon migration, after you have been assessed, if you get £500, then they will bridge the gap and you receive £100 to make sure that you stay on the same level of credit as you were on the tax credit. Following on, then you would move on to what you are actually entitled to under the universal credit. The universal credit is for people who are on low incomes, people who need help with their living costs and are also working, or people who are out of work, also people who have, let's say, a heart condition that affects their ability to work. And it is replacing the 6 older benefits, including tax credit, and ensures that you get the financial support that you are entitled to all in one place.
Okay. That's a good one there. So it's all, I mean, you don't need to go and apply for child tax credit, go and apply for that one, go and apply for that one, but it comes together nicely. So one application and that's that all for you. But you only have to make sure that if your circumstances have changed, please put it across. And like most of our people do, we don't like opening those brown envelopes. We just leave them lying there. And by the time you say Jack, you did not respond to it, and therefore it might have cost you. So please, if you are listening to us, yes, a stitch in time saves 9. So please do that for us. All right then. We have Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GI Accountancy Services. Mr. Tabiri, please, if you have any other information pertaining to that, please go on, sir.
Yes. So there are a few caveats. So some people will not be moving to universal credit. There are some exceptions. Say the guidance tells us that to universal credit, if you only receive housing benefits.
Oh, okay.
Or your partner are of state pension age, 66 years or over. You or your partner live in a temporary accommodation provided by a council because you are homeless, or you live in a supported accommodation including refugee hostels, extra care housing, and some sheltered housing. Instead, you continue to receive support with housing costs through the housing benefit. So these are exceptions to those who are currently on benefits. If you fall under any of these categories, you are over the state pension age of 66 and you live in temporary accommodation or in supported accommodation, refugees and hostels, extra care housing, and some sheltered accommodation, then you will not be moved across.
Okay. Yes, any more?
Yeah, so if you are claiming tax credits and are of state pension age or are part of a mixed age couple, the Department of Works and Pensions would ask you to apply for universal credit or pension credit depending on your circumstances. Okay. So we see here that people who are over the statutory pension age, which is 66 years, they will come under a different category from universal credit. They would have to apply for their pension credits separately from what everybody else has to follow. I guess the reason being that pensioners are of the age where they walk to the post office and claim their pension credits and are not used to the technology that is currently widely available to young people to use to make some of these applications. So they will be exempted from the move to universal credits on most of these benefits.
Oh, okay. So is it because of their age and because they think that they cannot access various platforms, that's why they are doing that?
Yeah, so because it's mainly because of their age, and also because where they are already, they are on the the twilight zone of the credit system. So a new tax credit or universal credit coming in is not going to it's not going to be made in such a way that it affects them significantly.
Okay.
So how let's see how long it also takes to apply for universal credit. The guidance tells us that it all depends on your circumstances. So it can take an hour or more to apply for universal credit if you are doing it online. Having the right documentations and information, you need to apply more quickly. So which means that you need to get all your information in place to be able to make that application. The details you need would be specified in the DWP that comes to you through the post. And so it's important that you read it carefully to understand what you need to do and what will be required. There will be no need to call the Department of Works and Pensions whilst your claim is being processed. So if your claim is processed online, the Department of Works and Pensions will contact you if they need any further information. As a security measure, people are being informed also that they will never be contacted by text or email to ask them for personal details or any bank details. So it's important that people watch out for that.
Okay, and I think that's one of the most important bit there, because I have seen that after that IT glitch thing that happened sometime last week, people have been complaining that you have all sorts of people calling in. Your computer has done that, your connection something, and then so a word to a wise is always enough. Starr Radio UK, Mr. Tabiri has been bringing you all those information from there. Mr. Tabiri, before your final messages, and then we can run up there, please.
Yeah, I also want to touch on how these universal credit payments are made. That's important. Universal credit is paid monthly on the same date of every month.
Okay.
However, if you cannot manage, you can ask for more frequent payments, like twice a month. So payments will be made once every month on the same day. So you'll be asked to choose a date. Let's say if you choose the first of every month, you would expect to receive your payment on the first of each month. However, if your circumstances is such that you prefer more frequent payments, like twice a month or like weekly, that can also be arranged. If you speak to the Department of Works and Pensions, they will be able to arrange those payments for you. Most people usually receive their universal credit payments about 5 weeks after their claim has been processed.
Okay.
And you keep getting your current benefit paid for 2 more if you are getting income-based support, income-related employment and support allowance, or income support housing benefits.
Okay. Now somebody is asking the question, just in case they fill the forms and they say, okay, they want to stick to the one payment for the month, and then happen to find out that maybe circumstances have changed during that course, and they will want there to be maybe a fortnight payment or a weekly payment. How easy is that done? Because they are pondering, should they just let it just slide?
Yeah, I mean, the tax credit system is your circumstances change. You can request for the payment frequencies to be changed as well.
Okay.
It's not. They will not put impediments in your way. I think it's the flexibility is available. You just have to make sure that the payments are correct and calculated, so that when frequency changes, it doesn't affect the amount that you are due to receive.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Tabiri. Sum it up nicely for us, and then your contact details, please.
Yeah, so in summary, I just want to emphasize the impending deadline of 31st of July. If you are due to renew your tax credits, please do so. Either you phone HMRC to renew your tax credits, either do it online at gov.uk or on the HMRC app, which is available as well. By all means, please renew, and then also be aware of the changes that are coming with regards to the migration project on universal credit. When you receive that letter from Department of Work and Pensions, please take note of the details and how to make your application and move the migration smoothly, so that you do not lose any money, or you do not have periods where you're waiting for your payments to arrive, which may cause difficulties for you financially. Yeah, so that's all for this afternoon. As always, if you need any help or any advice or anything relating to your accounting or tax matters, please reach out to me on 07961248834. 07961248834. And always quote Starr Radio, and if there's a fee to be paid, you'll be recipient of a nice discount.
Yes. Who doesn't want money? He's a money man. He brings the money your way. So anytime you listen to us on that program, Mr. Tabiri, we want to say thank you very, very much for that wonderful presentation there once again.
You're most welcome, and it's lovely speaking to you and your listeners again.
All right, then. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll catch up later.
Thank you.
Right.
God bless.
God bless you. Well, listeners, that has been Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, a money man. Yes, if you want to contact him, 07961248834. And as he said, he will give you the necessary help. I mean, if need be. I mean, you just say Starr Radio UK and you get a bit of a discount there. Yes, on the surcharge there. Okay, so this is where we bring the program to a close for today. It's been a pleasure coming your way. Yes, over the weekend we're going to be bringing you lots of other programs, or let me say activities. Can I say that? my producer says I can say that. Okay, so just be there and continue to listen to us, because as and when we have anything, we'll bring it to the fore. But let me say good morning to KB as well. He's also landed in Ghana as well. So I'll bring you the song from Yaya once again, plus Oreku. He has a cover version of Akote Brofo. Yes, Akote Brofo na Aponjele what? Well, so when that song ends, you don't hear from me. It's with me, your one and only Archie, saying have a top of the day and enjoy your weekend. Yes, if you're having any activity, you can invite me. I will be there. Can't I? Won't I? I will definitely be. Stay blessed and bye-bye for now. Enjoy.
Hey, that's right. I quote it wrong, Wakasa. Now what's to say? Just get on the beat. It's high life time. Get on the beat. It's dancing time. Get on the beat. It's just good time. I'm paranoid. Quote it wrong. And I know that you for. Oh, pretty, quote it wrong. I don't know what pray. What it? Hey, just get on the beat. It's high life time. Get on the beat. It's dancing time. Get on the beat. Oh, coach, I'm Santo Suma. Never know for now. So no society order. Oh, my boy, me ya betia. What a chiada bo. Intia my boy, Samusumichia. And ya one ya me. Missy, get on the beat. It's high life time. Get on the beat. Hey, get on the beat. Oh, betu batana sanya yara. Mesama komechi. Every kultura ya. Mechi anoreko. It's easy. My way. Echo moshi ani. Ebiabi cherry and para. No asuabai. Eko ti bofo. Anana no mpenfo. Ofrititi eko ti bofo. Anana no free. Oh,
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.